Gravity Falls Holidays, Festivals, and Elude Traditions. Chapter 1, The Northwest Escape. People in the town of Gravity Falls have spent nearly a week setting up for their annual Christmas festival. With roads in town being blocked off for people to walk around without risk, it'll be bigger than last year's festivals. This time, unlike years previous, they're running the festival on Christmas Eve night, with events they're throwing for gifts and prizes. With the weather news reporting that it'll snow tonight, everyone will have that holiday feeling before heading home, going to sleep while waking up on Christmas morning. However, not everyone will get the chance to enjoy the spirit of Christmas. Miles away from town, the Northwest family had spent the last 4 months in a motel after they lost their mansion. Preston and Priscilla sat together with their apartment filled with the belongings that they managed to save. Pacifica stayed in her room, laying on her bed while dealing with the life she's in. She had a miserable time, with the wealth becoming lower and lower with each passing month. She had to let go of her pony in order to save more money to stay in the motel, especially since she's not allowed any pets inside the apartment. With Christmas arriving tomorrow, she couldn't believe her parents didn't do any of those standard Christmas traditions since December started. She heard her bedroom door pushed open, revealing her mother as she sat up. "Pacifica," she spoke, "we want you in the living room." Okay, Pacifica got off her bed, following her mother to the living room. She sat on the chair by the window while her mother sat next to her husband on the sofa. "Pacifica," her father said, "we're not gonna be doing any Christmas traditions like we used to. Not because we can't run the campaign like we did last year, but we're low on money. I wasn't really looking forward to that campaign if we were really doing it." She lowered her head. "Pacifica, pay attention to your father," Priscilla ordered as Pacifica looked straight at her father. "What we're dealing with is a lot more serious than Christmas." Preston crossed his arms. "We can only stay in this apartment until the beginning of January. We only have a couple of weeks left," Pacifica reacted. "I did everything I could," he shouted. "I sold some of our belongings, praying they would be worth a fortune, only to be made into a laughing stock. Our prized possessions aren't even worth more than $5, Priscilla replied. Pacifica was lucky that her pony sold more than anything her parents sold, but she knew she wasn't gonna live under a roof for much longer. She wants to resolve the situation, but for how worse it's getting, she can't even help herself to do it. "So are you two planning on getting jobs in order for us to stay here?" "Yes, unfortunately," her father groaned. "This is the first time we're ever gonna find jobs that have nothing to do with our wealth." Ever since people have been celebrating Christmas at Gravity Falls along with the festival returning, it actually caught Pacifica's interest whenever she's in a better mood. "This may not be the best time, but..." She looked outside the window. "Can I go to Gravity Falls Christmas Festival?" "No, out of the question." "Why? You allowed me to go to the party at the Mystery Shack and even to the Mystery Fair there." "I said no," her father shouted. "Christmas joy isn't gonna make you feel better." "What's the point of going to a festival we never went to?" Priscilla added. "I don't have anything to do," Pacifica retorted. "We haven't been to the mall in months. We sold most of our golf clubs, and we just sold our Pacifica Northwest." Her father stood up from the sofa. "We told you from time to time that if we stayed at the mansion, we would have still done those things, including the Christmas campaign. Also, we only celebrate Christmas for ourselves. Even with the campaign, you can't even spread cheer towards your friends when they're with you." Priscilla also stood up. "But I've never seen my friends celebrate Christmas when I'm not with them, Pacifica replied. And that isn't a problem with us. You can't even find one person who has never celebrated Christmas to give them the best Christmas of their life down at the festival. Preston turned his attention to the window. You don't know that, Pacifica said. I know everything, he turned back to his daughter, and don't even think about disobeying my orders. Pacifica wanted to put her foot down, but even after she saved everyone from the mansion, her parents still refused to see the error of their ways, unlike her. You always keep controlling me, even without a wealthy future. If we don't have one, so do you, he pointed at her. They then heard someone banging on the door, catching their attention as Priscilla answered it. Yes, she asked after opening the door. Revealed to be the manager of the motel. We're here to give you the latest bill of your time here, the manager showed them the bill. Preston signed, wishing it'd happen at the end of the month. Let's get this over with. He went to the kitchen to get his wallet, all the while he and his wife headed out of the apartment to take care of the bill, leaving their daughter all alone. Pacifica couldn't take the stress with her family anymore. Even with Dipper's words taken to heart to rub her back, it didn't take long until it ends up punching her in the back. She then turned to the window again with a few snowflakes falling from the sky. Despite not getting the view of Gravity Falls itself, it only made her get pulled farther and farther away from the festival. She turned back to the apartment door with her parents doing the same bill payment while all alone, without anything to keep her occupied. But she realized her parents only left her alone with the payment and nothing more, the closest she'll ever get any sort of freedom nowadays. She turned back to the window with more snowflakes falling down. While turning back to the apartment door, she got off her chair, unlocked the window while pushing it wide open. She jumped out of the apartment through the window, landing on the snow while running away from the motel. She ran as fast as she could through the forest of Gravity Falls to get to the Christmas festival. But after a minute of making a head start, her escape didn't give her any time. "Pacifica!" her father shouted outside of his apartment. It caused Pacifica to clench her teeth. She ran past several more trees to keep her more hidden from the motel, but there's no going back. "I never realized my parents are a lot more stressed than me," she reacted. She was this close to heading to the festival, but as she went past a big tree, she bumped into someone, causing her to fall into the snow. The person tripped, catching Pacifica by surprise while almost falling just like her. Luckily, she kept her balance after grabbing a nearby tree. "Kid, watch where you're going, you almost..." When she stopped herself upon looking at the child, Pacifica turned to the person, revealing to be one of Dipper and Mabel's friends from the Mystery Shack. "Wendy," she spoke. "Pacifica," when Wendy walked up to her. "You were running away?" "Yes," she said, getting on her feet. "Without a jacket?" "I needed to get away as fast as possible." She covered her arms from the low temperature. "I'm going to my first Gravity Falls Christmas festival." This caused Wendy to blink, witnessing she isn't the only one having the same idea. "Where are you, Pacifica?" Preston yelled. "Wendy!" Wendy's father called, catching Pacifica by surprise. "You're also running away?" she replied. "No time to explain. Let's hide somewhere." Wendy grabbed Pacifica's arm as they both ran to find a place to hide from their families.